welcome to Morning Crypto Talk with King. It is Sunday, November the 11th, and I was doing some Google searches this morning and looking to see what's going on in the world with some of my favorite cryptocurrencies. So I wanted to talk about a couple of different things this morning, and then I'm going to be off for the day, going to run some errands and watch some NFL football action. All right. So, one of the topics or things that I wanted to cover today was I was curious in the last 90 days, what was one of the most searched cryptocurrencies or cryptocurrency terms out there? So, I decided to take a look at Google Trends and look at what the data tells me. All right. So, let's bring this up here. And what I did was I just typed in the word cryptocurrency, and then I wanted to take a look worldwide and the past 90 days and just see what pops up there. Okay. So you can have this broke down by region. And and what stuck out to me was in Nigeria, they're one of the most top countries or regions to look up the word cryptocurrency. So that got me curious as to what's going on there, but I haven't had time to take a look and to see uh, what or why it was one of the most popular terms or searches there. Okay, but let's go back. And if you take a look, you can have this by related topics and queries, which is like searches basically. There's just another word for search. At least that's the way that I put it anyway. And if you take a look at the help, there's two different breakdowns. You can search by top, which is the most popular search queries, or rising, which is queries with the biggest increase in search frequency since the last time period. So let's take a look at when I put in cryptocurrency past 90 days. Let's take a look at what the top 20 rising are and see how many times Shiba pops up. Okay. Boom. Number 5. Okay. So that's 1. At number 9, 2. Number 7, 3. Number 12, 4. 13, 5. All right, so that's 5 times out of the top 20 on Google Trends. And that's just on a related search word to just the word cryptocurrency. Okay, now let's take a look at the rising and see how many times it pops up in the top 20. Ooh, none in the top 10. You got 1 at number 15, 2 at number 20, 3 at 18, 4 at 6. So 16 times in rising on the related queries does Shiba Inu pop up. So why am I talking about this? Okay, I'm talking about this because it's one of the more popular cryptocurrencies that has exploded. All right, it has exploded this year. And there's this one website that has this nice little bubble that it shows like the total gains of all cryptocurrencies, and then you can set it by like last month, last 7 days, or last year. And Shiba, I mean, took up almost the entire page with its bubble. It was it's such an interesting thing to see. Okay, now I'm going to relate that back to this right here. Okay. So Jeff Lewis is a venture capitalist. This guy thinks a little bit different, right? And he likes to invest in companies that are, how do I say this? They try to get past the FUD to see what companies are worth his money. Now, this guy is stupid, insanely rich. But he made this comment right here, and it made me laugh because I'm wondering why he would write this, okay? Because there were no other references to cryptocurrencies that I saw on his page. And the guy is a well respected venture capitalist and have had some great takes and some returns on companies that other people weren't necessarily looking at or putting their money behind. But he said Shiba Inu is to 2021 what pets.com is or was to 2000. And the reason why this made me laugh is this. I'm old enough to know what pets.com is or was. Okay. And in the early 2000s, I was 16 years old. Okay. And pets.com was a business just right at kind of the internet bubble, if you will, of wanting to, they wanted to be like, they wanted to be like, oh man, I hit my laptop. They wanted to be the Amazon of pet supplies. All right. So whatever you needed or whatever you wanted, they wanted to get your pet supplies out to you. And that's what pets.com was. They raised up a lot of money. There was a lot of hype around it. And then the company didn't end up selling a whole lot because people weren't doing a lot of online purchases at that time. So they just didn't trust it. They just didn't trust it, and the company went belly up really, really quickly. Why is my fan in the view? Get out the view. Okay. So, with that being said, what else is in the view? All right. My bad. So, with that being said, this made me laugh because he's basically saying that Shiba Inu is all hype and it's not going to do anything going forward. And I still wonder if the people that write this stuff understands that Shiba has Shiba Swap. Okay, it's one of the top. Let's see. The last I looked, it was top 10 under used decentralized exchanges or swaps by volume. Okay, people are using it. Okay, those fees are coming in and being redistributed back to Shiba holders that uses the site and buries their Shiba stuff there. I wonder if he knows about the Shabarium, however you pronounce it. Y'all know that my pronunciation skills are horrible sometimes. But I wonder if he knows about the blockchain that the dev team is working on. I the guy's a smart guy. Dude's a really smart guy. But I see this. He does have a different way of thinking, which is something that I talk about all the time. You want to think a little bit different when it comes to what you want to put your money behind. And me thinking different is why I like SHIB. And when I went down in the comments, I was curious if Shiv Army showed up, and they absolutely did. Okay. So this guy Tristan put this picture out here, and this is the crypto.com app. And I'm curious if this is his or if he found this photo from from the interwebs. Because that's a nice portfolio balance. And there was one that I saw that $1,000 invested into. Let's see if I have that one. Yeah, here we go. If you invested $1,000 into different cryptos a year ago, what would those prices be now? Okay, and if you take a look, Bitcoin, XRP. I'm curious if this was as of this date. So if you're talking November 6th of 2020, I didn't do the research to see um what this date's based off of, but let's assume that it is from November of 2020. Then this is what your SHIB is looking like if you would have took $1,000 1 year ago and put it into cryptocurrency. Okay, insane, insane. So to Mr. Lewis, hey man, interesting take on what you believe about SHIB, and time will tell who's going to be on the right and wrong end of Shiba. And y'all know me. Y'all know how much I talk about SHIB, how I've been trying to get people since early this year to get into it. And that's about the time that I got into it as well. And I'm extremely glad that I did. So Shib Army came through though. Shib Army came through in his Twitter comments and showed out. All right. I wish he would have gotten into more and maybe had. I'm not going to call it a debate, but I wish he would have added reasons why he wrote this tweet. Okay, so let's take that down. I thought it was interesting, and I wanted to highlight that as well. All right, so what is Shiba doing right now? What is it doing today? It's still number 11 by market cap. Okay, a couple of billion under Dogecoin. we're looking at some red today, which what's the rest of the market doing in general? So the rest of the market is up by a small percentage increase over the last day and still sitting at around 2.77 almost trillion in market cap. The part that makes me wonder about cryptocurrency around this time of the year, if you looked at how volume was last year, I had assumed because I was learning about what the markets was doing. I had assumed that people would maybe hold off their money because of the holidays and stuff coming up. You've got Thanksgiving about to hit in a couple of weeks, followed by Christmas shortly thereafter, and then New Year's. Consumers are spending money. People like me, like I'm a retail investor, right? That's the classification of people that I fall in. I don't have a whole lot of money to be moving and making money, but I have a little bit of some money to be trying to do something with. So I fall into the retail investor category. Now I have to figure out how I'm going to budget everything over these next couple of months. All right. I've got my budget for November set. I've got my budget for December set already. I'm a guy that I had to learn how to follow and use a budget. I didn't say I had to learn. I had to be more disciplined. Let's just say that I had to be more disciplined about my budget following my divorce a couple of years ago. Okay. And how that's helped me is when I do have that extra money. Oh, couple of podcasts ago, I was trying to figure out the correct term for having like extra spending money in your pocket for spending it whenever something comes up. The term was petty cash. I was trying to remember what the term was in that video, and it escaped me. It was like almost there, but I couldn't get it out. Petty cash. Petty cash is the term that you use for, like, you've got extra money in your pocket and you can use it for whatever. I don't know if it's a business term or where that term came from, but I learned it in business school. It's a term called petty cash. Okay. So as I'm looking at what my petty cash is, what's my money at the end of the day that once I've paid myself, once food, gas, all the bills and stuff are paid for, rent done because I'm renting right now, what is my petty cash amount that I have and where can I put it in? Okay. Now I have a set amount that I buy every time I get paid on Shib. I factor that into my budget. So that's not a part of my petty cash formula. Okay. So I have this is how much I'm putting in Shib. This is how much I'm putting in Saitama, which is another project that I give a heavy weight on when it comes to making sure that I put money aside to put into both of those projects. And then with whatever petty cash I have left, I'm taking a look at other cryptocurrencies to see where I'm looking at putting in my money. I'm not in the stock market at all. My job has a thrift savings plan, which is like uh, an IRA, and it automatically puts money into that. So I've still got that over there, and the returns on those have been pretty decent. I looked about a month ago and smiled. I was happy with what I saw, knowing that if I stick around in my current employment situation for a while, when I do get old enough to retire and stop working, uh, I'll be all right. Okay. Now, I speaking of petty cash and looking at other cryptocurrencies, I'm going to end the stream talking about two different things. One, let's just bring this up here first. Uh, Russell was looking like at it. This looked like at a restaurant or someplace, talking about the future of Saitama and getting ready for the launch that's about to come up of their Saita mask. Saita mask. Somebody tell me how it's pronounced. Okay, but let's play this video real quick. It's not that long, it's 2 minutes. There was an audio error in here in which he said September, but he meant November because this was live and a recent video. And they talked about how things are going to be looking and upcoming for Saida and Saida Mask. Just listen to how he talks. I like the way this guy talks. All right, so I'm gonna put myself on mute and play this video.
Than 1%, so every day it's growing. So personally, I look at these things, from a marketing standpoint. Everything I see now is about crypto. If I'm looking at watching sports, if I'm watching football or baseball, even the World Series, I saw crypto ads all over the place. 6 months ago, you didn't see that. You didn't see a crypto.com. You didn't see any of these athletes or celebrities creating NFTs. You didn't see blockchain development, cybersecurity. You just didn't see that kind of stuff. So here we are, in a span of 10 months in 2021, 11, and it's just been so much more adaptive. So it really is the wave of the future. I think Saitama is really kind of setting the road ahead for everybody and pioneering the way. The team that we have is building something really amazing. We're constantly pushing the envelope. You'll kind of notice now that a lot of other companies and different projects will kind of mimic what we're doing. They're trying to anyways. So I think as long as we continue to push it and stay ahead of everybody, then we'll continue to be successful. So that's the plan. We have no plans on taking the foot off the gas. So we every day we're implementing different things and different strategies. So this will be a lot of fun. So our wallet that we're doing next weekend in September will be the beginning, of what we're doing. We've been around for a long time, but I feel like really next weekend will be day one, because that's when we're going to implement what we've been working on this whole time. So as we release the actual tech, that'll be the first milestone achieved. That'll be the first step in where we want to go. We will implement version 1.1, version 1.2. Continue to integrate all these different industries into crypto, give them opportunities, and really shape the way that people handle business every day. So it doesn't matter, if you own a taco truck or you're a Fortune 500 company, you're going to have crypto involved in your business one way or another. So either if you're a consumer or a company owner, it's going to be there. Whether or not you want to use it is entirely up to you. But it's just one of those things.
Okay. So, did y'all hear what he talked about? Okay. He talked about how cryptocurrency is here. You're seeing ads everywhere. You got celebrities and stuff talking about. That's the marketing machine around cryptocurrency. Okay. You're having people starting to accept cryptocurrency for payments. It's not going anywhere. And if you don't get on now, which to me, I'm not gonna say early adopters. I don't know. I don't know if the right term is we're early adopters if we get in now or not. But I know is I don't want to miss this train. You have people that just cryptocurrency in general, they are absolutely against it. My mom's husband, if I said Bitcoin around him, he would probably look at me crazy. Funny side story. He got a cell phone the other day, or he got another cell phone, and he called me on his new number. And my first question to him was, "Oh, what type of phone did you get?" His reply was, "A phone." He's not into the smartphone stuff. He's the type of person that goes to the bank to check his account because he don't want to even use the telephone system to call in. And I'm trying to tell him, I said, you can bring it up on your phone, right? And look and see what your balance is. He's like, I don't trust that technology stuff. So he's one of the type of people that, he's got his money, he's got his thing going on. He's not a believer in cryptocurrency or what it's doing, but if you take a look at what Russell's talking about and you just open your eyes and you go and look at actually not just I showed you guys the search on cryptocurrency and why you want to at least understand what these results are showing you. You want to analyze what you're looking at here because what that can do is like for me, it helps me understand marketing my YouTube channel. This is what I learned in business school. Okay. In your marketing class specifically, well, what are the people trying to find? What are the people trying to search for? What are the people looking at getting into? Okay. If you're a venture capitalist, you're thinking these questions and attempting to answer them so that you can get in early and get better returns on your investment. That's why analysts and stuff look at trends and things like that, seeing what's rising or what's becoming popular so that they can understand what to put their money behind. Shiba and Saitama are two of the ones that I'm looking at putting my money behind. And Safe Moon. The more I look into Safe Moon, even though the searches aren't around there. That's right. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at what you would find if I search for Safe Moon. Explore topics. Let's take a look. Safe Moon. Let's see what this topic lands. It's past 12 months. All right. Let's see. Let's do not the US. I'm gonna do worldwide. Let's do past 90 days and see where Safe Moon lands. Okay. Hmm. Nothing in the rising or the top that stands out to me. Safe Moon price is obviously the top query in the last 6 months or the last 90 days are related to it. A lot of searches around the term consolidation. Okay, that's interesting. Huh. All right. Safe Moon is one of the other ones that I'm in as well. Like I said, I gave my breakout on one of my prior live streams where I said I'm about 40 to 50% SHIB, the other 40% Saitama. Let's just call it 40 and 40. Those are my two biggest bags in my portfolio. 10% in Safe Moon, and then the rest in other cryptocurrencies that I'm either researching or kind of hearing about, or the blue chippers, your Ethereums and Bitcoins. Not a lot in those, but I do have some exposure to it. Now, the final thing that I want to talk about is this. I got into this one called Official Crypto Cowboy that launched Saturday afternoon. The launch on that was a fiasco. It was tragic. Okay. It was supposed to be a fair launch at a coordinated time where they put the contract out there and you could get it on Uniswap. And the launch time was supposed to be at 9 o'clock Eastern. And my reason for doing it was I've been trying to look at cryptocurrencies that I could get to on day one, because that's how you could get those explosive gains. You can put in like $100 on something, and if it takes off in moonshots, you could flip that $100 into something astronomical. Okay, and I was looking at Official Crypto Cowboy, and I wanted to try to be in one of the first 1,000 holders of it. Okay, I was able to get in the first 1,000 holders, but it was not without its problems. At launch, the contract didn't necessarily go off well. The liquidity wasn't there, so people couldn't make the trade for it. The developers created a version 2 that they relaunched a couple of hours later that people were able to get in and get some as well. So I'm sitting here like, okay, what's going to happen to my tokens? Are they dead? Can I do anything with them? Are you guys going to reimburse? How does this work? And what they did was they used a multiplier, and if you were within one of the first 1,000 holders for when they uh I don't stop the contract is the right term, stopped it and then relaunched it, then they were essentially airdropping you the current version 2 tokens. All right. And I went to bed late yesterday because this all started Saturday morning. Okay. And by Saturday evening, they were talking about the fix and what they were doing to kind of rectify the problem. I say 90% of the people were happy. The other 10% were pissed because they might have lost some money. For me, it is what it is. I did get in early. I'm not too thrilled about the token enough to really talk about it that much, but I just wanted to share my experience with getting in on one that I was aware of the day one launch. Okay. And only time will tell with that. We'll see if my small investment does anything or if it goes to zero. As of right now, I'm mad on it. The Ethereum fees rate at launch too, just before launch, was about $60 on the gas fees, 60 to 80, using Uniswap anyway. Right at the launch and shortly thereafter, for a couple of hours, it shot up to about $500. That's insane. Ethereum needs to figure that out. Okay, hopefully this version 2 that's going to launch helps solve that problem. Otherwise, people are going to start looking elsewhere for cryptocurrencies or another solution, like some of these blockchain bridges and stuff that are coming out that can help solve Ethereum's gas fee problem. So that's my video for today. All right. Shout out to the people that joined and tuned in live. Let me know what you guys think below. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button for your boy. Help me out on the algorithm. If you're watching on any other platform, send me a comment if you can. If not, come over to YouTube on my public facing Facebook page, facebook.com/the actual King Smith. There's a link in the description that talks about me giving away a smooth 100 to somebody that follows the instructions in that video. I'm trying to market my Facebook page. All right. But you have to follow the instructions to be entered. It's not that hard to do, but nobody's done it yet. So I'm going to run it from yesterday, November the 6th through November the 30th. And then I'm going to take a look at the entries and have the drawing live. I'm going to have it live on there, doing a live stream, just like what I'm doing right now. All right. So take care. Hope everybody has a good weekend. And thanks for rocking with me.